Hey guys, Ben Stevens 56 back with RDO Reverse Dungeon Order for Ocarina of Time 3D. In the last part, we finally got bomb chews after quite a bit of setting up and unfortunately a few cuts in the video, which I did not want to do, but you know, it happened. So in this episode, I am going to be doing some more setting up because I don't think we will be getting to the first dungeon yet. But since we no longer have hammer, I will be pulling out the good old Kokiri sword. We don't have the hammer anymore because we saved the game, and since we never activated this owl earlier, we need him to pop out. But yeah, so now we have the good old Kokiri sword, which is actually good because we conveniently need it for a trick right here. Why did the music get really quiet all of a sudden? Not sure why, but we're gonna wait here a second. Just wait for my good pal Navi to appear, and we're gonna do a wacky little trick. That right there was called a triple slash dive. So basically there's this really weird property in this game where if you slash your sword 3 times and then put your sword away, you get a big old boost backwards, and I don't know why this happens, but it's really useful. We use it right there. We put our sword away by talking to Navi, and Navi just so happens when there's text on the screen, it unloads the water, so you actually just sink right through it, and you have enough time after clearing the text box to swim straight to the loading zone, so quite a bit of a shortcut there. Takes us right to Zora's domain. Which is exactly where we want to go. Now, obviously, we can't do Jabu Jabu's belly yet. And we don't really want to. We're coming here for a different reason. And we're going to use that same technique that we just used because big old King Zora is right there. We're going to use that same technique, the triple slash, but we're going to use it for clipping this time with a very specific angle. And putting your sword away with the A button, we can actually clip through acute angles with the same technique because the boost backwards is so fast that you can actually get through acute angles of collision, and we use that to get into out of bounds water and swim straight past King Zora. So very useful. It saves us from having to get the silver scale, get Gerudo's letter, watch him move for a minute. So quite fast. Now we will be equipping my good buddies, the bomb chews. Very useful in this run. Very, very useful. As I said before. And we will use them to open this wall to get probably the most useful item in this game. I know, it sounds pretty weird. Ferora's Wind useful? Yeah, it's pretty useful. Alright. So, we got the magic spell for Rose Wind. This lets us warp, air quotes, in dungeons. That's all we really need to do here. So we're going to do another save warp, and that'll take us back to Link's house when we start the game back up, which is exactly what we want. So, alright, so we're gonna do a weird trick here. Let's hope I get it. This is called ledge storage. I think this should work. It did. Lovely. So what that did is it kind of makes me, the game, think I'm still on the ledge, but obviously I'm not. So it kind of lets me just walk through specific actors, like this guy. So I'm just gonna kind of run through him and just, you know, leave, because I don't really need him anymore. Because he's still there. I haven't beaten the Deku Tree yet, so he's gonna stick around for a while. So I need 10 rupees, so I'm gonna get those really quick. Try not to wake this guy up, because if I do, he'll send his babies at me. I don't want that. There's a few more. Okay, there's a few rupees. Sometimes rolling into trees will give you them. Magic, that's almost a rupee. Hearts. Should have planned my rupees a little better, I guess. There we go. That ought to do. A little slow, but I kind of needed to wait for nighttime anyways, or for daytime, so that's not a huge deal that I had to, you know, farm for some rupees right there. I will be on my merry way, and this seems a little weird, but my next stop is actually going to be Lon Lon Ranch. And I will be coming here for chickens. I love chickens. That's the only reason we're here. Nah, we're actually here to play this mini game for the super cuckoos, so start looking for them cuckoos. Alright, well here's the first one. Oh god. Oh wow. Wow, how do you get all the way over there, dude? Oh my god. Are you kidding? Dude, I don't know which one I'm missing even. Wow, okay. Close. I had a really bad view. Like, I couldn't see which ones I was getting. Anyways, this gives us the milk bottle. And we will not be, that milk's not for drinking. We need to keep that around with us for a while. Alright, so now we're gonna go to Castletown. Some lovely shield flicking. But before we enter Castletown, I'm gonna be getting more rupees. And just one more. Now I'm going to be doing a cool glitch called restricted items. So basically, to show this off, I can swing the bottle here, but I can't use Furrow's Wind, as you can see, because it's dimmed out. But if I switch these items, I actually have one frame where I can use Furrow's Wind and I can't use the bottle because it switches their usability for just a frame because you switch the item. It's very poor programming, and it's neat that we can do the trick. Alright, well we got those rupees for the shield, so I will be making good use of that. and I will be on my way. Now that we have Ferrar's Wind set in Castletown, there's really nothing we need to do here. So, let's keep going. Now I'm going to arrange my inventory very slowly and poorly, so I have this specific setup. Now, what I really need to make sure right now is that I have... Oh wow, I only want to take one hit. Yeah, I want to damage down on that Skulltula. What I really want to make sure here is that I have Ferrar's Wind on either X or Y, and that I have the milk bottle on the 2 button. Now, that seems a little oddly specific, but it is very important. Alright, let's see if I can do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Alright, first try. So basically, I killed myself, and then I entered that hole, and then I quit the game. And that leads for some pretty strange effects. What it's gonna do is it puts me in the Lakeside Laboratory. But when I return to that Ferrar's Wind point, that takes me exactly where you'd expect it to. Now, as you can see, my menu is a little messed up right now. My screen should look pretty glitchy, and that's because my bottom screen is actually blank. There's nothing on it. So Shooting Gallery takes you not where you'd expect it. It takes you to the castle, the Temple of Time courtyard. And Temple of Time likewise takes you somewhere quite unexpected. Obviously Temple of Time, but it actually puts me right next to the Master Sword. So I'm gonna pick that bad boy up and be on my way. So, how exactly did all of that work? Basically, what happened there was, when I entered that grotto, I was dead. So the game was like, hey, you're kind of dead. But it's also kind of like, hey, I kind of need to, you know, load this grotto because he entered the loading zone. So it's kind of like, what do I do? So it kind of delays your death, and it delays loading the grotto. So when I quit the game, it's kind of like, wow, wait, I guess you're not dead anymore. And then it's like, oh, well, I guess I can load the grotto now. And then it's like, oh, well, I guess I also need to load the title screen. So it does all of that at once, puts you on the title screen, puts you in the grotto. And so basically, you kind of play on the title screen, which is really weird. And because of that, entrance points don't really do exactly what they're intended to do. They take you to some pretty wacky places. There's some very interesting things you can do with that, and you'll see plenty more of them throughout this reverse dungeon order route. But basically, this specific one is special, because normally if you were to pick up the Master Sword, the game would crash, because it would try to load an entrance point that isn't all that friendly. But that cutscene that plays when you enter the Temple of Time, where it pans around, it's like, ooh, look, you're in the Temple of Time. That cutscene that only plays the first time you enter it, that actually cancels the effect of the death hole glitch. And because of this, it lets us pick up the Master Sword, and it lets the Master Sword take us to exactly where it's supposed to, which is the Chamber of Sages. So, because of that, that method of door time skip is one time only per file. It only works as long as that cutscene is playing, and that cutscene only plays once. So, we're adults, and I think we're going to be staying that way for the majority of this playthrough. Alright, so now we got a bit more cutscene to go, and then we're going to get back to it. Alright, she kind of just tells us, like, yeah, you gotta go beat the dungeon. But, unfortunately, she names them in, you know, the opposite order that we're gonna be doing them in. So, yeah, not doing the Forest Temple first. That's actually gonna be our 5th dungeon. So, you know, later, Sheik. Alright, now I just want to show this here. The Door of Time is actually still here, so in order to get back past it, we have to save and quit the game. Alright, so Door of Time's still there. The spiritual stones are there too, even though I never beat any of the dungeons. Pretty weird. So, the first thing I will be doing here is strange enough, but as you've already seen, sometimes things aren't quite what they seem in this game. First thing I'm going to be doing is placing Farore's Wind in this room. And I do that by using the restricted items glitch once again. Since you normally can't put Farore's Wind in this room. I will be heading to Kakariko to get some more items. Alright. So the first thing I'm getting here is the pocket egg. And I will not be getting the big Goron sword, however, that is quite a useful item and you will see why relatively soon. But we're not going to be using it for exactly what you think I will be. So I'm going to use this Poe to kind of hit me as I'm pulling that grave to skip the animation. And I'm going to race my man Dampe. And he will hook me up with his stretching, shrinking friend, I believe he calls it, something of the sort. Oh, barely dodged that fireball. Ah. Well, missed that little jump slash. Ah. Hello, wall. How are you? Gross time. Alright, so hook shot. Very important item. It's needed for several areas and whatnot. Okay. So the hook shot. So if we went into the next area, we'd actually be kind of trapped because there's Song of Time blocks there. And I don't have Song of Time, so I use that little trick right there to void out and skip getting stuck in there forever. We're going to use that Poe to beat me up a little more. And now that I am comfortably at half a heart, I'm going to leave and set up my inventory in a very specific way. So I want bottle on Y, hookshot on X, bomb choose on 1, and pocket egg on 2. Now, some of those don't matter exactly, but this is how I want it for the most part. And I just entered a grotto very skillfully, as I didn't even see it when I entered it, to catch this fish. This little fishy will be rather important to come. Alrighty. So just gotta wait for the camera to pan here. Is that good enough? Yeah. I messed this up when I was practicing it, so like I don't want to mess it up again. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I missed! You gotta be kidding me, dude. Alright, we did it that time. Jeez. Okay, so that's pretty wacky. So what that does is it once again takes me to the lakeside laboratory. Now in here there's some really weird stuff that happens. Normally, let's say I have the hook shot here. If I had the hook shot, if I shielded, I would just put it away. However, that's not the case. Also, if I were to jump in the water with the hook shot, it would also put it away. But alas, I still have it out. So we're going to use these strange properties when I dump this fish. And what I'm going to do is jump in the water. Now right before I hit the water, I actually hit the B button to use my sword. And then I actually duped the bottle over my sword, caught the fish by using a method of bottle duplication called shield swipe. And so now I have a bottle on my B button, and because of that I used a glitch called reverse bottle adventure. So basically I just wrote memory into my game. I changed some memory around, and what that did is that wrote a certain value onto my gauntlets, and so now I have the purple gauntlets. And basically these are as strong as the golden gauntlets, so I can lift the strongest amount of things, but they're just a sick purple color. And so now what I'm gonna do is I jumped in the water and I used the hook shot right before I hit the water. And wow, I must have oh no, I see what I did there. Alright, well, gauntlets should still be... No? Oh, okay. Yeah, I understand. Might be. Let me try that again. I hit the wrong button there. So, once again, pull out the hook shot there. And then... Oh, that was weird. Huh. Getting weird results here. Hello? This should work. I don't know what's going wrong. Well, I keep getting and losing my gauntlets here. Does that work? Alright, there we go. So I did a glitch there called Quick Draw Ocarina Item. So now my menu is back to the way it was because Ocarina makes your menu happy again. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put Ferora's Wind on Y and warp away. Yippee. Took a little longer than I expected. And what do you know? I'm in the Spirit Temple, which just so happens to be the very dungeon I want to be in. So I'm gonna let this Armos beat me up a little bit. No, no, come back, come back. There we go. Oh, golly, I died. So I'm gonna save and quit the game. And now I am in the Spirit Temple, but oh wow, that pot. Because I saved the game, I no longer have bottle on my B button. Now I have what looks to be a shield, and my hand is in a very painful position. But what it actually is I have a Deku stick in my hand. So I have 20 Deku sticks, and now they are on my B button.
So I'll be using those later, but I think I'll cut that because I did a lot in this episode. We got Fro's Wind, got the milk bottle, Dwarf time skip, hook shot, and now we're in Spirit Temple. So this will be the first dungeon that we complete. So until then, this is me. So leave comments and stuff, and anyways, bye.